So, rather than take the boring old trail through the woods, it's seemingly safe and low, well, I don't know about well marked, but lower risk, we decided to traverse the face of this shale covered cliff because, you know, it seemed like a good idea. But we just had to laugh at ourselves because we managed to often figure out how to get to places the hard way. But I guess that helps us appreciate it even more when we get there.
You guys know which way not to go.
Yeah.
Learn from our mistakes.
Learn from our mistakes. All right, up and away.
Welcome, you found us. We are in the Journey Church, and we are a mobile online church for everybody, everywhere. We travel all around North America and with Tucker, and Thad delivers great messages and tying the lessons from the Bible into the places that we check out. So today, you found us. We are in the middle of nowhere in the Canadian Rockies. It took quite the adventure to get in here, 4x4ing, river crossing. We're going to take you along for this journey up this mountain, and Thad has got a great message at the top because this is number 2 in the Sermon on the Mount series. We hear a waterfall, which we're both really excited about because we love waterfalls, but we haven't seen it yet. So let's go do the big reveal. Come join us.
It'll either be really cool or, I don't know. Sounds like it's a little splash, so hopefully.
Either way, it looks like a really tight rock canyon, which is also really fun to walk through. So
yeah, for sure.
Even if there's nothing exciting waterfall-wise, the canyon will be.
All right, let's go see it. Woo-wee. That's cool. That one up there is like a perfect shower. The question is, how in the world do we get up there without ropes? Nature's water fountain.
Did you get splashed? And interesting. The trail doesn't go up there.
Houston, we have a problem.
Didn't you bring the rope stand? Looks like we could climb it.
Back to the trail. Walking back down the creek. Apparently we missed our turn somewhere in here to go this way, which will take us up this draw in here and up to the edge of this rim, somehow making it up and around where the waterfall is there. Don't know how we're getting there yet, but we'll figure it out when we get there. It looks amazing. Absolutely beautiful. Hey, I wanted to pop in here real quick and just say hello and thanks for tuning in. We are so glad that we're able to join you here on Abundant TV and the app and the streaming platform. It is great to be a part of the Abundant TV family, and we're grateful for the opportunity. As you can see, I am not in Canada where this episode was originally filmed. We are all over the map exploring God's amazing creation to bring you to places like these to help bring the Bible alive in a fun and creative way. So stay tuned, enjoy this episode, and we'll tell you more about us as we go along.
Our minds. So it is one of my favorite hikes I've done in a long time. The sound of the brook that we walk up, as well as the incredible scenery all around us, is so breathtaking. Oh, I can't wait for the rest of it because so far it's been awesome.
It is epic, and the road here was amazing.
Epic
also epic. Definitely rough. Definitely not front-wheel drive car friendly. I mean, you could get to part of the way, but once you get to the river bottom, you need a four-wheel drive truck and some experience crossing the river, and
that was fun.
All that fun stuff. So we're gonna get back to hiking, show you a little bit more about this adventure as we go, and hopefully, Lord willing, we make it to the top. We'll see. So apparently the real trail, nothing here is marked really good. Real trail is somewhere over here, goes up and around through those trees. And there's a cairn right up there. We, however, like to do things the exciting way. Rather than take the boring old trail through the woods, it's seemingly safe and
well-marked.
Well, I don't know about well-marked, but lower risk, we decided to traverse the face of this shale-covered cliff because, you know, it seemed like a good idea. We're just joking. We're both very experienced and comfortable up here. Definitely don't attempt it if you're not comfortable and have a lot of experience hiking, but anyways, we're good, but we just had to laugh at ourselves because we managed to often figure out how to get to places the hard way. I guess that helps us appreciate it even more when we get there.
You guys know which way not to go.
Yeah, learn from our mistakes. All right, up and away. It's a little dry.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, Tucker, come here.
This is called a hiking smash witch. Flat like pancake. Good news is, it doesn't really matter, it still tastes delicious. And yes, that is beeswax wrapping paper. My wife thinks it's cool. Ooh! I don't even know if we're halfway yet, but it's been awesome. Tucker's having a blast, but he doesn't sit still very much, and we're basically surrounded by sheer rock wall cliffs, so I'm trying to keep him a little closer. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode. I just wanted to take a quick break and let you know about our website. You can find out more about us and our mobile ministry at YourJesusJourney.com. On the website, you'll find everything you need to know about how to get involved in things that we call journey groups, how to find study guides to go along with each of these episodes, blogs, and other video episodes that we filmed all over North America. So when you're done with this one, be sure to jump on the website, YourJesusJourney.com, and check it out. Well, we finally made it up here to a sweet spot that is gorgeous in every direction. And as happens a lot when you're way up in the mountains, we've got a storm brewing. So we're going to give you lesson 2 from the Sermon on the Mount and storm style. So let's hope we don't get pelted with rain and totally soaked while we're up here. So we're going to just jump right in and see how this all plays out. I don't know. Before we jump into the text, I want to take a minute to remember some of the bigger picture going on before we get into this particular passage. Jesus had begun his public ministry, and he's traveling around Jerusalem and the area to the north called the Galilee. He's out there doing ministry, he's healing the sick, he's casting out demons, he's teaching in the synagogues, and everywhere he goes, he seems to be hanging out with some pretty messy, sinful people. The Pharisees and religious leaders of the day were what you would call ultra-conservative. They were all about knowing the Old Testament rules and laws and sticking with them really strictly. And they were honestly really struggling with what to do with Jesus. On the one hand, he seemed to be righteous, and he knew the scriptures, and he taught with authority. But on the other hand, he was doing things and spending time with people that made them really uncomfortable. To the Pharisees, it seemed as if Jesus was inviting everyone into the kingdom, forgiving sins of some really messy, damaged people based on some of the things he was doing on the Sabbath. They even started to speculate that maybe he didn't even care about the law. And that was a really dangerous idea for the Pharisees and religious leaders, one that they would actually be willing to execute him for. So it's no accident that Jesus says what he says in Matthew chapter 5, verses 17 through 20. I want to share that passage with you, and then we're going to circle back and unpack it. So stick with me on this one. It's kind of a thinker. You're going to have to keep your thinking cap on and keep praying that I don't get soaked by rain over here. Here's how the passage goes. He says, "Don't misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the writings of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their purpose. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not even the smallest detail of God's law will disappear until all its purpose is achieved. So, if you ignore the least commandment and teach others to do the same, you will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But anyone who obeys God's laws and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Then he goes on to say, but I warn you, unless your righteousness is better than the righteousness of the teachers of the religious law and the Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. It's as if Jesus is standing there, getting rolling with this message, this sermon that he's preaching in the Sermon on the Mount, and he looks out across the crowd and he sees a number of Pharisees out there in the crowd, just sitting there, looking at him, listening carefully, looking down their noses and snickering. And then Jesus rolls out all this bit about the law. It's like he was saying it just for his accusers, and everyone else basically heard it kind of like a witness. Here's what I think the Pharisees and religious leaders would have heard Jesus say that day in the crowd. There are those of you here who think that I'm weak on the law, who think that I don't care about the writings of the prophets. But listen up, you accusers. I far more than care about the law. In my life, the law is made complete. Not one bit of it is not important. In fact, I'll state right here for the record that anyone who makes light of the law or teaches it wrongly or tries to change it, even in the smallest way, will be a virtual nobody in the kingdom. But anyone who obeys God's laws and teaches others to do the same will be called great in the kingdom. You see, it's like Jesus' way of addressing his critics right there publicly for everyone to see and hear. All right, storm is holding out. As you can see behind me, there are rain clouds and storm clouds in every direction. We got a little wind, but I think with a little magic of editing, we can take care of the audio, and hopefully that all turns out great. But I think we are hanging in there. There's some blue skies coming. I can see it. Come on, bring back some blue skies. And then there's that last part, the really hard part. That was meant for everyone to hear and take to heart. Jesus tells them, hey, listen up, this is a big deal. You all know how serious the Pharisees take following the law. Well, the only way any of you can get into the kingdom is to be even more righteous than they are. This is like a big wake-up call to shake everybody in their sandals a little bit. It's time to come to grips with the fact that none of you are going to get in by being good enough, no matter how hard you try. But it's also a reminder that Jesus is good enough. He is perfect, and our way in was bought and paid for by him. It's a reminder of the grace that God extends to those who truly trust and follow his Son. I'll be the first one to tell you that this little chunk of scripture is not an easy breezy passage to just zip through and understand at a quick glance. You do really need to dig into this one on your own and take some time to chew on it, probably together with some friends. The big takeaway from this section has to be the vivid reminder that no one is going to heaven by being a perfect rule follower. It just can't be done. Not even the strict Pharisees of Jesus' day could uphold the laws perfectly. I think it's interesting that the world is still full of people trying to work hard and create their own rules to live by, all to prove that they're good people. We all want to be seen as good. The problem is, we also want to create our own criteria for what good is and isn't. And I don't know about you, but if I'm being really honest, it gets pretty easy for me to start blurring the lines when it comes to how good I think I am. If I look at the actions of others, the lines are much clearer. But in my own life, I'm much more inclined to make up some gray area rules so that I feel better about the less than God honoring thing that I did or said. Even though these are some tough words from Jesus, they're really an important reminder to check our standards. Are we living by some rules that we made up along the way, or were we coming to grips with the fact that we'll never be perfect apart from God's grace and our faith in Jesus? Well, if you haven't committed to follow Jesus, then let me tell you, it's no coincidence that you're tuned in here watching this right now. Here's the thing, there's no magic prayer that you have to pray or some special way that you need to kneel or stand. It has nothing to do with any of those man-made ideas. If you believe that Jesus is the Son of God and that He alone lived a sinless life and that His death and resurrection paid the price for your sin, then I want to invite you to pause right now and pray this prayer with me. And if you've never really prayed before, it's just you talking to God. You could say it like this: God, I believe in you. I believe in Jesus, and I trust that He is who the Bible says He is, and that He did what the Bible says He did. I want to put my faith and trust in Him to save me from sin. Speaking of sin, God, I want to ask that you would forgive all my sins, everything, even the stuff that nobody knows about but me and you. I'm done with all that, and I want to learn how to be a real follower of Jesus. Amen. That's it, or something along those lines. It doesn't matter if you say the perfect words. What matters is if you believe those things and express those things to God. And if that's you, if today is the day that you decided to follow Jesus and ask for forgiveness of your sins and start this journey as a disciple, a follower of Jesus, then yahoo, man, awesome, congratulations. It is a really, really big deal, and we are honestly so excited for you, and we're excited for you to be a part of the family. Now, here's the thing, your biggest issue right now is to reach out and get connected. Don't try and start this journey figuring out how to follow Jesus on your own. Trust me, you won't make it far. Nobody does. So shoot us a message, drop us a comment, reach out. We want to help you get rolling and growing as a follower of Jesus. Well, literally, we are just wrapping this thing up and here comes the rain. It is just black storm clouds. Although you can see some blue sky behind us, so I think we're gonna hang out in the trees for a minute. All the way up there on the top of that ridge is where we were headed today. I don't know if we're gonna make it or not, but stick around and let's see if we make it to the top or if we start working our way back down. It kind of depends on how crazy this storm gets. All right, we're gonna wrap it up, go hide in the trees, hang around to see what happens with this crazy adventure. Hey, I just wanted to jump in here and say that this ministry for my wife and I has been amazing. Not only have we grown immensely, but we're seeing hundreds and hundreds of other people growing alongside us. It's also been a huge leap of faith to stick our necks out and sell everything to go on this adventure and follow God's call to go teach the Bible in a creative way. And if this is something you're getting value from, and it's helping you and you could see how it would help others grow in their relationship with God, then we would love to invite you to partner with us and join the journey. You can learn more about giving and give securely online over at YourJesusJourney.com and click on the Give tab up on the top. Pretty self-explanatory, easy to follow, easy to find. And I just want to say that we're connecting with so many people that are excited about learning the Bible and excited about following Jesus. But if the only option was to go to church, they probably wouldn't make that their next step. And so there's just so many people out there that would be kind of on the fringe or on the bench. And this ministry is a way to invite them forward to learn and grow as followers of Jesus in a way that takes some of the church obstacles out of the way up front and helps them get connected to Jesus and the Word of God. So thanks so much for watching and thanks so much for your support. YourJesusJourney.com. Click on the Give tab. Be a part of this amazing journey that we're on, and we'll get you back to it right now. episode would not be complete without drawing a little blood. Not too bad. Gouged the thumb a bit, biffed it, climbing through all of these sticks. It's like climbing through a giant pile of pickup sticks. Some are round and they roll. Ask me how I know. This week, we're taking a look at lesson number 3 from Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, and it's all about anger. What's interesting when we think about anger is I think we almost always imagine the loud, red-in-the-face person, a road rage person, or a ticked-off teenager, or somebody that's ready to fight. We tend to imagine anger as pretty one-dimensional. And the thing is, that can actually create a problem for us. And the reason is it can set you up to allow other kinds of anger to take root and go unchecked in your hearts. Now, you may be thinking, wait a minute, isn't anger just anger? I mean, what's the deal? There's actually different kinds of anger? We'll get into that.